What if I told you that the majority of Americans walking around looking fine? Nice car in the driveway. Vacations posted on Instagram are actually one paycheck away from disaster. You're not alone if that hits close to home. Stick with me today. We're exposing the hidden truth, and more importantly, how to break free from it. Let's be real for a second. You wake up, check your bank account, and that number just doesn't feel right. Bills are paid barely, rent or mortgage is covered. Maybe you even treat yourself to take out once in a while. But deep down, there's this quiet panic. What if the car breaks down? What if you lose your job tomorrow? What if an emergency hits? Most Americans are secretly broke not because they're lazy or stupid, but because the system is built that way. Right now, the average American carries over $100,000 in total debt. Credit card balances are through the roof over $1.2 trillion nationwide and emergency savings. Less than half of people have even 3 months' worth set aside. Think about it. You grind 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. Yet at the end of the month, there's nothing left. Lifestyle creep sneaks in: bigger apartment, newer phone, subscriptions you barely use. Social media shows everyone else winning, so you spend to keep up. And inflation, it just keeps eating whatever raise you get. The result? 68% of Americans report feeling financial stress higher than last year. You're not failing, you're playing a rigged game. But here's the good news. The game can be beaten. People just like you have turned it around. Let's look at how. Story 1. Take Jim Carrey. Back in the early 80s, he was a struggling comedian living in a van in Los Angeles. Homeless at points, broke, driving around with everything he owned in the back seat. He wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated it for Thanksgiving 1995, and kept it in his wallet as a reminder. People laughed at him, agents passed, but he kept showing up, honing his craft, taking small gigs, believing the breakthrough was coming. Fast forward to 1994, Ace Ventura explodes. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. Suddenly, he's making $20 million per film. That $10 million check. He cashed the mindset long before the money arrived. Lesson: desperation can fuel discipline. Jim didn't wait for permission or perfect conditions. He acted like the version of himself he wanted to become. Actionable tip: write your own future check. Put a specific financial goal on paper: $10,000 emergency fund by next year. $50K side hustle revenue, and carry it or tape it somewhere visible. Review it daily. It rewires your brain from scarcity to possibility. Story 2 then. There's Oprah Winfrey. Born into extreme poverty in rural Mississippi, abused as a child, she got pregnant at 14 and lost the baby. By her early 20s, she was working low-paying radio jobs, living paycheck to paycheck, feeling like she'd never escape. She got fired from one TV gig for being unfit for television, but Oprah refused to stay a victim. She focused on what she could control: her voice, her empathy, her work ethic. She took risks, moving to Chicago for a morning show no one expected to succeed. That show became The Oprah Winfrey Show, and she built an empire worth billions. Lesson: your starting point doesn't determine your end point, your decisions do. She turned pain into purpose by serving others relentlessly. Actionable tip: start a value journal. Every day, write one way you created value for someone, big or small. Over time, you'll spot patterns and turn them into income streams, whether freelancing, content creation, or a side business. Story 3. Henry Ford is another classic. Before the Model T revolutionized the world, Ford failed twice. His first company went bankrupt. His second, also bankrupt. Investors pulled out, partners doubted him, he was broke and humiliated in his 40s. Most people would have quit. But Ford had an obsession: making cars affordable for everyday Americans. He kept iterating, learning from failures, and in 1908 launched the Model T with an assembly line system that slashed costs. Within years, he was one of the richest men alive. Lesson: failure isn't finalized feedback. Ford treated setbacks as data points, not defeats. Actionable tip: adopt a failure autopsy habit. Next time something doesn't work, a side hustle flops, a job loss happens, sit down and write. What went wrong? What did I learn? What will I do differently? Do this within 48 hours, then take one small step forward. Momentum builds from micro-wins. These aren't rare fairy tales. The data backs it up. Right now, only about 55% of adults have any real emergency savings. One unexpected $400 expense, like a medical bill or car repair, wipes out most people. Yet, look at the flip side. Millions quietly build wealth every year. Entrepreneurs who started side hustles during the pandemic are now pulling six figures. Regular people are paying off $30,000 plus in debt by cutting one big expense and redirecting it to snowball payments. The top 20% of earners. They don't make dramatically more. They just save and invest 15 to 20% consistently instead of spending it. Examples are everywhere. The teacher who started tutoring online and cleared $50,000 in student loans. The corporate worker who built a dropshipping store in evenings and quit his job. The couple who downsized their lifestyle, invested the difference, and hit financial independence in their 30s. The common thread? They stopped living reactively and started living intentionally. Track your money for 30 days, no judgment, just awareness. Cut 1 leak subscriptions, eating out. Put that money to work: high-yield savings, index funds, debt payoff. Small, consistent actions compound faster than you think. Here's the truth. Being secretly broke is unto life sentence. A wake-up call. The people who escape it aren't superhuman. They're just people who decided enough was enough. They chose discomfort today for freedom tomorrow. You have that same power. Start small. Track 1. Expense. Save $25 this week. Take one step toward a skill that pays more. The compound effect will surprise you. You're not behind, you're just getting started. Keep showing up. Keep learning. Keep believing that your future self is counting on today's version to do the hard thing. You've got this. The life you want isn't out of reach. It's waiting on the other side of better decisions. Go build it.